Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Hi, I'm Daniel LeBeau. Welcome to Zacks Top Stock Picks of the Week. Today I have a semiconductor powerhouse that is poised to explode off tomorrow evening's results. So Micron Technology is a leader in the memory semiconductor space, and they're anticipated to have a record quarter, August quarter, going into tomorrow night. And that will be unveiled, and I'm expecting to see some slingshot market action at its currently undervalued and kind of a little bit oversold levels. The stock has fallen over 20% since its high back in April, and this is due to a lot of analysts getting concerned that peak earnings growth is in the rearview mirror for this memory company, but that's just not the case. I mean, we did have a huge amount of pull forward demand during the pandemic, with people buying a slew of digital devices in order to operate remotely, but I do not think that we're going to see a slowdown in this demand anytime soon, with the chip shortage really impacting companies around the world. And Micron is on the other side of that trade, able to have pricing power in this world where the need for chips has never been greater. So I'm looking at an option spread for MU going into tomorrow evening's results that will allow you to benefit off the upside as well as limit your downside. So let's take a look at the charts and take a look at this option spread. So this is Micron Technologies since the pandemic last year. Obviously, we had a bit of a dip off of the initial sell-off, the great capitulation, I like to call it. But this thing quickly rebounded, especially the back half of 2020, kind of exploding from $50 a share all the way up to nearly $100, doubling in just a few months. And this is to do with, like I said, this pull forward in demand for consumer products like laptops, smartphones, and other devices that require Micron's best-in-class memory chips. And like I said, the stock is falling out of favor, but is poised to blow back up going into this next earnings report. The stock just broke through its 50-day moving average, and this is a strong technical signal that we are looking bullish. But like I said, no one really knows what's going to happen. The last 5 earnings reports from MU have resulted in a 5.2% price action, with 3 being to the downside and 5 being to the upside. So I have an option spread for you that is going to allow you to see unlimited upside without having, too much downside. It's going to limit your downside. So let's take a look at this 3-legged option spread that will benefit you going into tomorrow's report. But utilizing optionsprofitcalculator.com, and this is a tool to kind of measure the P&L of your option strategy. And this option strategy specifically is going to be a quasi straddle. So a straddle is when you buy a put and a call of the exact same strike price, typically going into a catalyzing event like earnings, and you're expecting a big move. And with Micron Technology seeing over 5% moves in its last 8 earnings reports, this is not an outrageous strategy. But I'm making it in a way that is inclined to the upside and a little bit cheaper than normal straddle, because normal straddles you typically pay for the premium of both the call and the put, and it can be pretty expensive. So I'll just illustrate it here. So the straddle is this. We're buying one October 15th. This is the monthly expiration. We're looking at monthlies because they're the most liquid, and this will give you a little bit more time to see MU's price action play out. So we're looking at 75, which is right around the money. So we're looking at calls right at the money, and then we're going to buy some puts right at the money. And this is a straddle. And, this is north of $500 a trade. So we're going to do something to limit that price. And that is going to be sell or write a put option at 70. And this will allow you to capture $5, or sorry, I say $500 because these are $100 per share, $500 of upside if the stock does go down, and that will pretty much wipe out any of the costs of this play. It will give you unlimited upside. So we will look at the P&L here. Okay, so here is the P&L with 0 changes in implied volatility. Implied volatility has a impact on the premium of the option you're playing with. And with with us going into this earnings report, I can only imagine implied volatility is going to go up, like I said, over 5% price action post earnings on the last 2 years of results. There's no way that that doesn't happen. So I'll assume conservatively a 25% increase in implied volatility. And here you can see all the different dates that we would sell based off the price that MU is playing at. And you can see the upside is enormous and the downside is almost non-existent, especially if you are for holding on to this towards expiration. So I'm looking for an upside move, and I'm looking at prices even as high as 85. So one contract that's going to cost you about 430 could yield you as much as $700 in just a matter of days. And if it does go away from you, you're looking at a downside that's right around zero, if not a little bit above zero, especially if this downside is significant. And like I said, these price moves after earnings from MU are significant. So this strategy is prudent going into this report, and I wouldn't hesitate to put it on. It's pretty risk-free if you consider what's going on here. As long as you don't hold these things into expiration and this thing expires at 75, which is extremely unlikely, you're going to be making some money here. So check out the strategy, and check out this site, optionsprofitcalculator.com, and you can do the spread on your own. Putting on a position prior to any kind of catalyzing event like this earnings report is typically a coin flip, but with this options strategy that I presented to you, we have really eliminated a lot of that risk. So take a look at the strategy, take a look at the spread, and thanks, guys. We have Nina up next, and she'll be presenting a top stock pick of hers. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dan. I'm Nina Mishra, and my top pick today is Ulta, ticker symbol ULTA. It's a Zacks rank number 1, strong by stock. And we know that Ulta Beauty is the largest beauty retailer in the US. They sell more than 25,000 products from over 600 brands and their own private label. Now we know that 2020 was a very challenging year for Ulta because their stores had to shut down for some time in March and April, and since people were stuck at home, they were not using any makeup or perfumes. But they introduced Ulta introduced some very policies to deal with these challenges. They introduced they expanded buy online pickup in stores. They introduced curbside pickup. They introduced self-checkout in stores, and also expanded virtual try-on to help customers choose without being in stores, and while avoiding a lot of physical interaction and maintaining social distancing. So all those measures have paid, and also with the reopenings, people are going out. They are going out more. They are using more lipsticks and foundations and perfumes. So Ulta's sales have surged this year. They reported their earnings recently, and those were very, very strong earnings. And the earnings not only beat the comparisons from last year, but also 2019's pre-pandemic levels. And recently they have expanded their partnership with Target, and this partnership was announced last year in November 2020, and they have started rolling out these store-in-stores, shop-within-a-shop model in Target stores, and by the end of this year they will have Ulta within more than 100 Target locations. So that is also going to help company. And let's take a look at some of the charts by going to quote page on Zacks.com. So as I mentioned, Ulta Beauty is a Zacks rank number 1, strong by stocks. Let's take a look at detailed estimates, and you will see that the company delivered very strong positive surprises throughout this year. 83% upside, more than 100% surprise compared to estimates, more than 50%. And after these excellent results, and the company also raised its outlook for the year. So we have seen that analysts have raised their estimates for the company significantly. The estimates for the current year and the next year have jumped significantly after these strong results. Another reason why I like Ulta is they have a very strong loyalty program. So clients keep going back to Ulta visit after visits. All these measures and very strong earnings quality should help Ulta continue its upward trend during the year, and that is why it is my top pick this week. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out zacks.com/promo for an interesting offer, and also make sure to subscribe to our videos, our video channel, so that you do not miss anything. And I will see you next week.